What's up, dudes? I'm the Dominicator, and in this video I'm going to hypnotize you to become a male stripper. As in all of my videos, you'll be commanded to leave a comment at the end while hypnotized, so go ahead and log into an account that you can use for that. Mute any distractions, and continue when you're ready to get hypnotized. Alright dudes, so to begin, just look at the spiral in front of you, and as you look at the spiral, the more that you do, the more that it exerts a mind-melting feeling on you. And the more that you listen to the sound of my voice, the more that you can feel that as well. A wonderful, dripping, dropping, mind-melting feeling that drips and drops down on top of the surface of your mind. And there's something about it that just makes you feel so good. A nice and wonderful and a pleasant feeling. All of the cares and worries and stresses and tensions in your mind, they just begin to melt away the longer that you stare into the center of that spiral, and the more that you just listen to the sound of my voice. It just feels so good. You feel an awesome and a powerful, a masculine feeling, a sporty feeling that seems to trickle down and drip down and drop down on top of you and through you. That comes from the sound of my voice, and it just feels so good. It just feels so good to feel that awesome, wonderful, and warm and masculine and dominant, sporty tone and texture from the sound of my voice as it just continues to drip and drop down on top of you, on top of your mind, and on top of your body as well. And that just feels so good. It just feels so good that you can't wait to be turned and transformed into a male stripper. There's something about this that would just feel so liberating, that would just feel so cool, that would just feel so awesome. And the more that you just look at the spiral, the more that you just listen to the sound of my voice, the more that you feel a rising, a building feeling, an anticipation, a drive and a desire to be turned, to be morphed, to be transformed into that male stripper. It all just feels so good, feeling the rising and building feeling of excitement, the rising and building feeling of anticipation, and the wonderful mind-melting pleasantness from the sound of my voice. It all just feels so good that it helps you to ease down, to drop down, to go down, to sink down even more and even further into an even more relaxed and even deeper state of mind. And all that just feels so wonderful, so wonderful. And not only that, but to feel the awesome, wonderful, warm and masculine and dominant sporty tone and texture of the sound of my voice as it presses on you in all sides of your mind. There's a certain dominance, a certain commanding tone about it that just makes you want to take in the suggestions I give you, that just makes you want to follow the commands that I give you. Something about that just feels so good. Something about it that just feels so good that it just makes you want to do exactly that. And that is exactly what it's like to have a coach, a mentor, a director, a master who you follow and who you obey. And even that word master, that gives you such a nice and a tingly feeling that just begins to course, that just begins to spread all throughout your mind and all throughout your body. Something about that awesome and wonderful, warm and masculine, dominant, commanding tone of my voice, that just makes you even more eager to just follow the suggestions I give you, just to obey the commands that I give you, and to feel even more that rising, building feeling, anticipation and excitement for becoming a male stripper. And you can even imagine it now, how liberating that would feel just to take your clothes off. And that would just feel so good. That would just feel so liberating that you can hardly wait. You can hardly wait. And as you do, wait until you drop down, until you sink down, until you snap down into a completely and totally, deeply relaxed and passive and obedient state of sleep. You can feel a rising, the building feeling of heaviness that is pulling you down even more with each and every single passing second. A feeling of heaviness that is pulling you down even more, that is pulling your mind down, is pulling your body down. And yet it will just feel so good, just to relax so completely and totally. All of the muscles and muscle fibers of the body, all of the thoughts inside of the mind, everything will just completely and totally collapse down, drop down, and snap down into a state of sleep with the snap of my fingers and the word sleep. When I snap my fingers and I say the word sleep, then you will go down, you will drop down, you will sink down, you will snap down into a completely and totally relaxed and passive and obedient state of sleep for your master. And that will just feel so good, so wonderful, so mind-meltingly pleasant. Then all that you want to do is just to Sink into, just to soak in the sound of my voice, my commands and my suggestions as I turn and morph and shift and shape you and transform you into a male stripper for your master. Well, that will just feel so good that you can't even wait. You can't even wait as you feel the building up, the rising intensity, the heaviness that is building up inside of your mind and inside of your body so much that you can't even resist it at all. The more that you try to resist it, the more that you feel. You feel that heaviness. It's just like bricks that are tied to each and every single muscle fiber of your body, and bricks that are weighting down your mind, and the sound of my voice as well. That as it crosses with each and every thought inside of your mind, it just melts those thoughts away. It just melts those thoughts away, and you can't wait to go down, to drop down, to sink down, completely and totally in a snap. Now sleep. Sleep, and sink down, fall down, drop down, even more and even further into that wonderful, warm and masculine, dominant sound of my voice. And that just feels so good. That just feels so good that it just makes you want to fall down, to drop down even deeper, just to go down even more, just to feel as your mind opens up even more to the suggestions and the commands that I give you. It just feels so good having such a dominant, commanding master to follow and to obey. As I turn you, as I shift you, as I shape you into even more the male stripper for the amusement of your master. Well, you can already feel it right now. There's a building up, a rising up, a bubbling up of a desire just to want to become a male stripper under the command, under the domination of your master. As any and all of your thoughts, cares, and worries and resistances, as they just melt away from you, as they just melt away, as they just drip down and drop down through you, on top of all the muscle fibers and muscles of your body, as you feel, as your mind melts, as your mind just continues melting even more. You feel an empowerment, a feeling of that strength from your mind, as it drips and drops down onto the muscles of your body. And it just feels so good. It just feels so good. So wonderfully empowering. Such a wonderful, masculine, a dominant, a sporty feeling that comes from it. And you begin to feel just like a dancer, just like a stripteaser, just like a male stripper, just like from Magic Mike or from another show that you might have seen of male strippers. And as it happens, and the more that it happens, the more you feel a building and a bulging feeling in all the muscles and all the muscle fibers of your body. There's something about this that just makes you want to show off your muscles. Something about this that just makes you want to show off your body. Something about it that just makes you want to take off your clothes bit by bit, piecewise, and bit by bit. But you won't begin to do that until I give you the command to. You won't begin to do that until I wake you up into a nice and half awake and half asleep state, in which you will be a stripper, a male stripper for your master. But until then, you'll feel as that wonderful, warm, and masculine, dominant tone and texture of the sound of my voice, as it continues, just melting away your thoughts, just melting away your mind, just melting away any and all of your resistances. You feel such a profoundly proud feeling about your body and about all the muscles of your body. That just makes you want to show them off even more. And a feeling about the sound of my voice that is building up, that is winding up a kind of energy into you. A kind of energy that makes you want to dance. It's a kind of energy that whenever you're in that nice and half awake and half asleep state, or whenever you're wide awake, then you'll feel it. You'll feel as that energy connects into you and through you, as it courses, as it spreads, as it surges through you, man. As it mesmerizes you, as it turns you completely and totally into a male stripper for your master, and you won't be able to resist it all, taking off your clothes bit by bit, taking off your clothes one article at a time, in the most sexy way that you can think of, and just dancing, just like a male stripper, for the amusement and for the pleasure of your master. That will just feel so good. That will just feel so good. You can already see it in your mind. You can already imagine it right now. You can already imagine exactly what it must be like and exactly what it must feel like just to be a male stripper for your master. And you can imagine what it must feel like to peel off that very first article of clothing. You can imagine the wonderful, the cool, and the liberating feeling of peeling your shirt off and exposing all of your awesome and bulky muscles to an audience and to a crowd. In fact, in a little while, in a few minutes, I'm going to bring you into a nice and half awake and half asleep state, in which you will be a male dancer, a male stripper for your master, and you'll feel just as if an audience, just as if a crowd is right there, watching you, cheering you on. And that's such an awesome feeling to have, the feeling of a crowd, of an audience watching you, and cheering for you, and rooting you on. The feeling of all those eyes cast towards you, and admiring and appreciating all of the muscles on your body and that you built up, admiring you, and even objectifying you. There's something that just feels so good about it. You don't have to, you don't want to, and you don't need to think about any of it at all. In fact, you can't think about any of it at all. Once I give you the command and I snap my fingers, then you'll feel all the last remnants of your mind and of your thoughts, of your cares, of your worries, of your stresses and tensions, and your resistances as they just melt away, completely and totally, as they melt away and are replaced completely and totally by the commands of your master as you become a male stripper. And that will just feel so good, so wonderful, so awesome, and so liberating as all the last bits and pieces of your thoughts melt away. The whole world, it just melts away. And the only thing there is you, and the audience, and the commands of your master telling you, directing you, commanding you to do exactly what you're going to do, which is to put on a nice striptease for your master and for the audience. And in your mind's eye, and you'll be able to see the crowd out there rooting for you and watching you, admiring you, and you will feel the awesome, wonderful, warm, and masculine dominant presence of your master there in the room, commanding you, controlling you, and dominating you, directing you. And that will all just feel so wonderful, so good, and so awesome that you'll just so easily fit into the role. You'll just so easily slip into the role. But there's something about doing this as well that just makes you want to continue to work out. Something about this that just makes you want to continue to develop your form and your physique and your figure. Something about this that it just makes you want to, from time to time, just do a few push-ups, or to do a few sit-ups, to do a few squats. That from time to time just makes you want to do a few calisthenics, whenever you have your shirt off, whenever you have your clothes off. And as you do, then you'll feel a building and a bulking feeling, a feeling of each and every single muscle and muscle fiber in your body just becoming even bigger, swelling even more as you become even more bulky, even bigger. And it will just feel so awesome, so good, so wonderful to show off that new bulk and your new muscles to the crowd and to your audience and to your master. And that will just feel so good that from time to time, whenever you do catch yourself just perhaps lounging around, then you'll feel an irresistible drive, a desire to just want to remove your shirt, just to want to strip down and to want to do those calisthenics, to just want to do some push-ups, to want to do some sit-ups, to do some squats. You feel an awesome and a powerful, a manly, a masculine feeling. And it just makes you feel like such a weightlifter dude, and like such a good stripper, a male stripper for your audience, for your crowd, for your master. Now that all just feels so good that you can hardly even wait. You can hardly even wait to test it out. And in a little while, in a moment, I'm going to count you all the way up from 1 to 3. And as I count you up, you'll feel a lifting, rising, a surging feeling of energy inside of you. And once I click my fingers together, then it will feel just as if you're there, right there in front of an audience, and that you're part of a show in which you must strip dance for your master. And it will feel so good each and every single passing moment that you do. Each and every single passing moment that you do, it will just feel so great. You can hardly wait. And now then, beginning with 1, as you feel a lifting, a rising, floating feeling that begins to take you back up, and 2, coming up even more, and even further, and just feeling even better. And now 3, and now you're a stripper, a male stripper for your master. And now, take off your shirt. Take your shirt off. That's right, my dude. Take your shirt off, and as you do, in a nice, sexy, and slow way, just stripping, and just dancing for the audience, for the crowd, and for your master. You can see the audience, you can hear the crowd, you can hear the music. And it just feels so awesome, it just feels so good as you just continue to dance. And now just take that shirt all the way off. And that just feels so good, that just feels so great, that just feels so liberating. And now flex for the crowd, flex for your master. And as you do, you feel such an awesome, and powerful, and dominant, and masculine, a muscular feeling. Yeah, it just feels great. And now your shoes, if you're wearing any. And that just feels so great, that just feels so good, that just feels so nice. And now any of the excess clothing that's on your lower body, anything else, and just take it off nice and slow, nice and sexy. And with each and every thing you take off, you just feel even better. And with all those extra clothes off, and now just flex for the crowd, flex for your master. Feel that awesome and powerful and dominant surge of energy, a surge of muscularity as it just travels, as it just courses, as it just surges through you. That just feels so awesome, that just feels so good, that it just makes you want to, it just makes you want to get a pump and to pump your muscles up, to make them even bigger. And so now you're going to do some push-ups, and do some push-ups now. And as you do them, you feel the pump building up, the feeling of the muscles in your body just getting even bigger and even better. That just feels so awesome. That just feels so good. So good that now you want to show off again that new bulk. And now stand up and flex for the audience, flex for your master. Flex and then move into a dance as you feel the bulk, as you feel the muscularity, as you feel the bigness all throughout your body, as each and every care, worry, and stress and tension and thought, it just melts into the muscles and muscle fibers of your body. It just feels so good, just being a good, obedient stripper for your master. And now sit down in a place where you're ready to collapse down to a state of sleep. As when I snap my fingers and say the word sleep, you will go down, drop down, sink down, and collapse down all the way, completely and totally and absolutely into an even deeper and even more profound state of sleep for your master. And now, sleep, as you just go down, as you drop down, as you sink down, as you fall down, as you feel such a wonderful and awesome feeling of pride in your performance. It just feels like you're at the end of a show now, and that you've done a show. And you feel such an awesome, such a powerful feeling of achievement, such a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling that you gain the approval of the crowd. They're cheering for you still, even as you exit backstage. And as you do, you pass by mirrors and you notice what an awesome feeling that you have, and such a muscular bulk all throughout your body. And it just feels so good just to be a male stripper for that audience, for the crowd, and for your master, man. And a powerful and a muscular weightlifter dude as well. That just feels so good that it just makes you want to, even more so, just to continue developing your body, just to continue developing your physique for that crowd and for your master. And there's something that just drills itself into your mind, into your brain, that just makes you want to show off even more. That just makes you want to show off even more. And it just becomes so easy. It just becomes so easy, just like you've done it so many times. Whenever you get a nice feeling, a nice bulk, and then when you feel just good and just right about your body, you'll feel a desire, drive, and an impetus, a temptation just to take your shirt off and just to take off any of the excess clothes you're wearing. And it will feel just like it did when you were dancing, just like it did when you were stripping in front of the audience, in front of the crowd. And a feeling of that achievement, a feeling of excitement, a feeling of approval that you'll carry with you into that state. And that will just feel so awesome. That will just feel so good. You won't even need to. You won't even have to. You won't even want to think about it at all. It'll just be like second nature. In fact, you might find yourself just forgetting that you've even taken your clothes off. It will just be so natural and just so second nature to you that you might even forget that you've taken those clothes off. It just feels so wonderfully, mind-meltingly good whenever you peel your shirt off. It just makes you forget about everything that happened before, and it just fills you with that awesome, that powerful, that dominant and masculine feeling. It just makes you want to flex your muscles, and it just makes you want to work out a bit, just to feel that awesome feeling of a muscular pump. And it just makes you want to dance. It just makes you want to show off your muscles. And the more that you do, the better and better that you feel. The more that you have that feeling of just following and obeying your master, and putting on a good show for the crowd. That all just feels so good, so wonderfully mind-melting, that it just makes all of your thoughts and cares and worries just float away as you just follow and obey my commands. It just feels so good not having to think about, not wanting to think about, not needing to think about anything at all, as you just follow and obey your master. The more that you do, the better and better that you feel. The more that you have that distinct feeling of pleasing such a powerful and dominant, masculine, alpha male master. Well, that just feels so good. That it just makes it so easy. It just makes it so easy to feel the morphing, the turning, twisting feeling inside of your mind, just making you into even more of a male stripper. You can just feel all of your excess and unnecessary thoughts as they just melt away, and they drip and drop right down onto your muscles, and you feel an energy, a substance, a fuel inside of them that just ignites you, and just makes you want to work those muscles out. That just makes you want to do push-ups, man, squats and crunches, man. And it just makes you want to show off your awesome and muscular body afterward. All of that just feels so wonderful, so mind-meltingly good, that from time to time, and you'll feel that urge and that drive and that desire. It just feels so awesomely powerful and hypnotic and drawing and mesmerizing. You can even feel as the sound of my voice, each and every single word is winding up some kind of spring-loaded tension inside of your mind. It is mesmerizing just to hear each and every word, and as you hear each and every word, you feel a winding and a building up inside of you that will turn you into a complete and total weightlifter dude, male stripper for your master. After I count you up in a little while, you'll feel as the last remnants of your thoughts, they just melt away completely, as they drip and drop all of their energy, all of their intensity onto the muscles and muscle fibers of your body. You won't be able to think anything at all. You won't be able to think about anything at all. All that you'll be able to do is just to work out under the command and the domination of your master. And then to put on a nice and entertaining little strip show for your master. Well, that just feels so good. That just feels so good just to feel that awesome feeling and a winding and building up inside of you. It feels like it's an excitement and an enthusiasm for what's to come. Excitement and enthusiasm for being turned and morphed and twisted and shifted and shaped into even more of a good and obedient male stripper for your master. That just feels so good. That just feels so good. Each and every single repetition of each and every single set of each and every single exercise that you do, you feel that feeling. You feel a strength and energy that wells inside of your body, inside of the muscles and muscle fibers of your body. And it just gives you a feeling and a sense of pride, and knowing that you're just following and obeying my commands. You'll feel such a drawing and magnetizing and a mesmerizing, hypnotizing feeling that exerts itself on you and on your mind. That comes from the sound of my voice and each and every word that I'm speaking to you right now. And yet it just feels so good. You'll feel such a forceful and magnetizing, pulling and drawing sensation that makes you work out and makes you dance. It feels just as if little puppet strings are tied to each and every single joint and each and every single muscle in your body. Then you won't be able to control it all. All that you'll be able to do is just to work out and to dance into the control and the domination of your master. As you alternate between working out and flexing and dancing for the crowd and for your master, you'll feel as a warmth begins to spread around each and every muscle and muscle group of your body, as it turns into a heat, as you feel the intensity and the effects of the workout throughout your body. When you start, then you'll feel so wonderfully and completely and totally mind-melted and passive and obedient. You won't be able to think about anything at all. You won't be able to do anything at all except for what your master commands of you. But as you slowly advance towards that state of exhaustion, a feeling as though you've worked out all of the muscles in your body, then very slowly, then your mind will come back to you, your thoughts will come back to you, but then and only then, once you've exhausted all of that energy inside of your body, will your mind and will your thoughts come back to you, and then and only then will you have a complete total awareness of your master having dominated you and mesmerized you into this state of being a complete and total male stripper and weightlifter dude for your master. And when you do come back and completely and totally into the waking world, then it will just feel so good. So good knowing that. It will feel so good just knowing that you were under the domination of such a powerful and a dominant masculine alpha male master. That will just feel so good. That will just feel so good that you can hardly even wait for it. You feel a building up an excitement and anticipation for it even right now. You feel a building up of that excitement and anticipation and intensity even more than you did before. And how good it will feel just to be under the complete and total control and domination of your superior alpha male master. You feel the force of my will just surrounding you and just pushing in each and every side and each and every angle on you. You feel such a completely and totally powerless feeling as the force and the magnetism, the feeling of your master's domination as it clamps around each and every single muscle and muscle fiber of your body and around each and every single thought in your mind. And it just feels so good and so much better to submit to it. Though you can try to resist, but the more that you try, the more that you just feel your resistance crumbling into little dust particles that fall into the hands of your master. And with each and every single act of resistance, there's something about it that just feels so uncomfortable, that just feels so hard, it just feels like you can't even win at all. Then all that you can do is just to submit to the awesome and awe-inspiring domination of your master. That's all that you can do, and after a while, it becomes all that you want to do as your will just wilts and crumbles into the hands of your master. You will simply submit to, surrender to, follow, and obey your master as you become ever more of a good and obedient weightlifter dude and a dumb jock and a male stripper for your master. Just allowing each and every thought, care, and worry, and stress and tension in your mind to melt away, to form that awesome and powerful fuel and energy for your body, just to work out and to flex, and to dance and to show off your muscles. That all just feels so good. That becomes exactly what you want to do, and exactly what you will do. Now in a moment, I'm going to count you all the way up from 1 to 5, and when I reach 5, then I'll snap my fingers. When I do, then your eyes will open, and you'll be in that nice, wonderfully mind-melted state. And you will like this video, as you like being so completely dominated by your master. You will subscribe if you haven't already, and you will leave a comment for me that says, "Yes, master, I am completely mesmerized by you, master." And as you leave that comment, it will become the complete and total and absolute truth. You will be completely and totally mesmerized by your master. The only thing that you can do, the only thing that you're allowed to do, permitted to do, before you devolve completely and totally, surrender completely and totally to becoming a male stripper for your master, is to put on some music to dance to. You can choose whatever music to dance to. But once that music comes on, then you will be completely and totally mesmerized as you simply work out and flex and dance for your master. Now then, beginning with 1, as you feel a lifting, rising, excitement, anticipation, and desire to do exactly that. Then 2, coming up even more and further. 3, already halfway there, and feeling just great. And 4, almost all the way back up now. And 5. Alright dudes, check out Communicator.com to schedule a session with me to get hypnotized, and check out my digital downloads, or to commission a video recording. Check you later dudes.